Good morning, good evening, everybody, from wherever you are watching. I am Dr. Aamar, the host of CIU's famous podcast, and today we have a very special guest joining us. I will give him the chance to introduce himself. So, sir, the mic is all yours. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Aamar. First of all, thank you for having me in your podcast. I'm Ivan Todorovic, and I'm going to be the new men's head soccer coach at CIU Falcons.
What do you think are the basic requirements for a student who is enrolled in athletic program? Like, for instance, if they want to keep up with their GPA and also play sports at the same time.
Well, for them being students first, then soccer players, athletes, I think the GPA is number one thing that obviously requirement to play is 2.0, but we will like to try to have it at 2.5. There are many reasons for that. My personal reason is if you're in the season and you sign the player that is in between 2.0 and 2.5, it's a matter of weeks when he can fall under if he's not careful, if he's not studying, if he falls behind. And then when you have an important game, you just find out on Monday that the next game you're not going to have two or three important players due to grades. And also, I think it's very important to maintain higher GPA in general for the entire school because that brings the school somewhere on the scale of the education. So that's speaking about academics. Speaking about athletics, I think obviously the player has to have a level to play college soccer, technically, physically, tactically, experience-wise. We're looking where were they formed as players. We're looking at a lot of things. I brought competitive coaching stuff with me. We're gonna try to pay attention to every single detail from the very beginning because I think as being a new program, we have to make sure that we're giving the players everything what the bigger programs at the moment can give them, so they are going to have the interest to choose our school over some other schools that are also offering them scholarships or good conditions to study and play.
Perfect. Well, that's actually something that will help our students to know that, there is an importance of academics and there is an importance of athletics. And it is always the best ways to try to balance both of them and have a strong impact on both and learn both in the same process. Mm. The next thing that I wanted to discuss with you was why soccer? Like,
I think it has to do something with where you're coming from. In certain countries, some other sports are very popular. Maybe, in some countries in Australia, rugby is very popular. In United States, you have football, basketball, baseball. In India, you have cricket. In Serbia, you have soccer and basketball. So I'm coming from Serbia. I was born and raised over there. And even we are known for our basketball right now. I think soccer is still the sport number one, and over there it's lived with a little different passion than it's here. Maybe not the same passion like let's say in South America, but still people follow soccer. People are watching. People are very passionate about it. People sometimes argue about their favorite teams. So when you are born in that atmosphere, if you want to go out and run, there is a high probability you're going to choose soccer.
well, I completely agree with you because I come from India, so I know how obsessed people are with cricket. So, like, when I talk to my friends and some of my family, cricket is like a religion. So, it's always a constant debate for everybody. But yes, what is very important that I could relate from what you told is the passion that you bring to your sport. That's very important for your role and also for our athletics, our students who will get into the program to understand that we are giving them or we are handing them over to somebody who's really passionate about this thing and he's going to bring out the best in them. Yeah. Talking about it, so we are just not bringing soccer, we are also bringing basketball and I assume baseball as well
Yes.
there. So it's going to be a very nice, like a sports thing for everybody to come and join. And it's going to be enjoyable for us to see all our students play. So that's fun. The next thing I want to ask is what kind of a play style are you expecting the students on the players to have? Like, what kind of different styles do you think they have, and what is the best you think fits for the new athletics who are joining in fresh from their high school to the university?
High school soccer and college soccer have in a certain way, unlimited number of subs. And that allows the game to be a little bit more physical because players can get breaks. Players, you can pretty much replace the entire team during the game if you really want. But for me, as I said, I'm passionate about soccer. It's a beautiful game. So I would like my team to play beautiful soccer. I don't want to get results just by fighting and running and, trying to play ugly to get a result. For me, the result and success in soccer, especially in college soccer, is not just the result itself after 90 minutes. It's having a clean program, having a program that students want to join, creating an atmosphere, creating a culture within a program that a student will have memorable 4 years. Of course, if I play chess against my father, I will try everything to win. That is no doubt. But there are other important things to take care of before just winning the game. That way, program is going to last. That way, program is going to be more successful in the future, and people will call more and more, not just from the area, from outside Los Angeles, and from probably soon when we are allowed to bring foreigners from the other countries. In fact, I'm having emails coming from the agencies from South America because they think we can take foreigners the first year. That's one
Yeah.
of the things that we will probably have to wait for the next year until we are able to give out LOI to the students.
Well, perfect. Yeah, I think it is somewhere down the pipeline in CIU's future to issue visas and bring in foreign students in, because we actually work on the culture of diversity, where we also understand that we have employees all over the world, we have students all over the world. So it's very important to appreciate that diversity and that culture that we bring in. Um, the next thing is a little different because this is something that student asked me, so I'm going to change it and ask you the different end of it. So students ask me, because I'm from academic, so they ask me all the time, how does academic helps me in being an athletic, like a person who plays sports. So I'm just going to ask you a little bit of retrospect of it. Like, what would you suggest a student that how soccer and how this program will help them to be a better student in academia?
It's a difficult question to say because if you're playing sports, you certainly have little less time to study. But in general, you are an educated soccer player. So I don't see the connection in between two in terms. If you play soccer, you're going to be a better student. But I think what that prepares you for is a teamwork one day when you graduate and you go into the company, that you're going to be able to work well with others because you were the part of the team, you were following the rules, you were respecting the all the rules of the group, you were listening to your coaches. So one day when you graduate and start working, let's say in a corporate world, you're going to be a good teammate. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually very, very well rounded and very nicely put. The only answer that I can come up with, um, sports and academia both makes you a better man and a disciplined man. So
Yes,
there is the connection. That's the best I could come up with. But I think I'll take some of the words from your answer in the future and use it. The next thing that I want to ask you is, like, whenever you see when tryouts, whenever you see some people playing, what are the first three things that you notice that just that is like you look at it and feel like, yeah, these are the three characteristics that fits perfectly into a soccer player. So this could be somebody who I should keep an eye out for.
we're looking at the players first that understand the game. There are a lot of people that are running after soccer ball, but they don't really understand. Understanding the game is not only when you have a soccer ball. Understanding the game is what do you do when your team has a ball and you don't? Where you position yourself after every pass? Where do you position yourself defensively? Second, what is your decision making when you have the ball? You can give the ball to the player that is not well positioned, and maybe you didn't make a mistake. You gave him the ball, but because of your choice, he lost it right away. So we're looking at their decision making. We're looking at obviously their physiques. It has to do something. There is a speed, there is strength, there is aggressiveness on the field, and also if they are vocal, if they can talk to the others, or they're just playing the game, being quiet. So all that together form the opinion about the certain player that we discuss as a coaching staff, and we decide if that player is something that we're looking for CIU, or maybe unfortunately not.
Well, that's nice to know because this is going to be like an informative session for people who listen, and they can also understand. It's just not about CIU. If they're planning to play soccer anywhere else, so they get a coach's perspective that what actually they are looking for and where they can improve. To end this session, I would like to ask you, what are the three things you would suggest a prospective student who wants to get enrolled in the athletics program at CIU? Like, what are the three highlights or what are the three points you will tell them that, these are the three things that makes us different and these are the three things that can help you make a better choice and come and join us?
For me, obviously, as a soccer coach, I'm looking first at, in this case, I'm looking at a soccer part. Then I'm looking at his grades. But let's assume the grades are good enough to be on the team. I always want the students first to come out with a good presentation of themselves, because when you talk to the 17 years old that is a senior in high school, and you say, "Hey, can you send me your video?" and he says, "I don't have a video," that means he was not preparing himself. He was not thinking, which is still okay. That makes things a little harder then. Thank God we have a tryout, and I would like to obviously invite everybody who is listening to sign up. We're having a tryout on the 30th of this month, so 6 days from now, in the city of Costa Mesa. On our, you have the information on our athletic page. It's going to be from 12 to 2, and any interested player, without sending the video or anything else, can sign up and come, so we can take a look at them and obviously see if that's something of our interest. But I'm talking about a player that I'm going to talk to for the first time after the tryout, and I would like to see him somewhere. Then, if I cannot see him on the video, I have to go and look at him, and depends when he has his next game. So that all becomes a little harder. So definitely a good presentation, just like when you go for the job interview, you want to have a nice and clean resume. You want to dress up nice and speak well at that interview to even be looked at. The same for a soccer player. The presentation is really important on top of the qualities that we were mentioning earlier.
Perfect. Well, I think now everybody who's listening or watching us probably would have a complete view and understanding, at least on how to start this journey and this process. And then later on, we'll have a lot of additions to the process. The process will evolve with them in it. So it's going to be, I think, a very happy journey for everybody to see people play, to see people learn, to see students and people grow together. It's going to be fantastic. So I would like to end this session here on a very happy note that, welcome to CIU, everybody. We are now playing. So join us.
Thank you, Amar. Appreciate that, and go Falcons.
Go Falcons. Yes, that's the rhythm. Go Falcons. Thank you so much.
Thank you.